It's always a pleasure having you here in Corewave TV. The president of the African Development Bank, Adesina, has slammed Tinubu administration, describing this as the worst government in history of Nigeria, even before the pre-independent era. But eh, countering it, the presidency said that Adesina lacks the full information about the development and economy of Nigeria. That's why he's making such erroneous development. Another man from the north, Bago, said that illiteracy, insecurity, poverty worsening the state of insecurity in Nigeria today. Your take on this development?
Hello, Mr. Chigozie. Good morning. I'm saying good morning to all our viewers on Core Waves uh, platform this morning. I remain Mr. Ojolajide, your global analyst, global reviewer of development and things on Nigeria, all over the world. I will agree with Mr. Akim Adesina in the very true, in many true senses. Why am I saying that? He's the president of African Development Bank. African Development Bank has statistics and figures of every African nations of their developments for over decades, for over years. So if he's talking, he must have had access to some. He's talking from informed position. It's not just anyhow. It's not just any person talking. It's not a clerk talking. It's not a security man of the institution. Security man at the gate talking. We're talking of president of African Development Bank. Development of Africa, the institution that's in charge of development Af- African states. And for him to have stated that there are statistics and figures of African development, of African nations, development of African nations, years back, that is the custody of the bank, that have access to know what our development at social time, at social time, at social time, progressively up to the present time. And you must have compared the rate of development at those years with the current state where the current year of this regime of government we are now. And you must have seen some differences in them. So he's talking from informed position, authoritative position. He's talking as a man with grasp of fact and figure of information to process this point. He can defend it because of law. Anywhere he can stand and defend it. To have said that this government is the worst. He must have, like I told you, he must have had some fact and figure of developments of years of African nations pass to the present time. And he must have compared and see who is better. What is it? And for him to have made such conclusive statement. So I agree with him. If you have said so, is the right person to talk on that matter. If you have said so, he's a Yoruba man. I'm a Yoruba man. Tinubu is a Yoruba man. I won't defend indefensible here. But that will not bring development. If you see something wrong, bad, and you are compromising foolishly going along the same line, you will see end up further in a ditch, in destruction, in perdition.
Tinubu's media representatives said that Adesina is not privy to some developmental stride of this administration. Where are they? Where are the development that the people are not seeing? That has no direct positive impact on the masses. Everybody is crying. There is austerity, there is hunger, insecurity ravaging the country.
Hello, sir. What I'm telling you is this: as far as the issue is development is concerned, development, any program, any government is embarking upon, we must see the physical development in the life of people. There's no growth if any growth that does not correspond, that does not follow up by development in the life of people, living standard of people, is nonsense growth. How can I be telling you you are growing at 10%, 20% economy? Where is the impact in the life of people? If the life of people is growing downward, they are sinking deeper into poverty, hardship, you know, excessive high cost of living. What's your growth? What's the hell of a growth you be telling me you are achieving your economic policies, your economic program? The program is of your government. When it cannot be seen in the life of people, development cannot be seen in the life of people. There's no improvement in their living standard. Cost of living is extremely becoming higher beyond what they can cope with. Everything is they are sinking deeper into poverty daily. Then so what is that thing Tinubu can point to? You took a decision on a product whom you know that that product, the price of it touches the prices of every other thing, and you don sit down carefully and plan how you are going to mitigate the excessive that effect that decision will have on other products, other variables that touch that for people.
Now,
And now when you did this, there is no cushion effect, there is no palliative effect, there is no remedial effect, there is no supportive to bail them out of that, to assist people to come out of, to sustain them in that, at least to alleviate the excessive cost of living that thing will bring upon them. You are not talking about what the environmental stride is through as achieved that we are talking about. I don't know. So the president is just putting up statement to defend themselves. Of course, they have to do that. That's what's expected to them. That's what other if the spokesman did not do that, how will he? Of course.
now, the sad news is not that the present is bad, but there is nothing like future as far as Nigerians are concerned. According to World Bank Development Accession projection, that by 2027, more Nigerians will sink into poverty, which means we we have not seen the worst under Tinubu.
Under Buhari, the World Bank said that Nigeria they are dimensionally poor. That is, they are dimensionally poor in every areas of life endeavor.
About 133, 138 million.
Nigerians. That was the statistics under Buhari by World Bank. If they're not saying we will sink deeper, that means we will be expecting anything from 150 upward million within of a population of about 220 million. That means we are talking about over 60% sinking deeper into poverty. So, and the evidence on ground has approved that this is the reality on ground. That the government of the day has even worsened the situation of what they inherited from past government of Buhari. So, World Bank, these are institutions that have facts and figures. They are not talking from drunkenness. No, they are not biased, they are not sentimental, they are not biased, they are not historical. They are talking from fact and figure. These are banking institutions that talk with fact and figure. Go to your bank now and say you want to print, they should print out your transaction 5 years back. They will print out from 5 years. That fact and figure documentary evidence stat and statistics of whatever they are saying. With that they can make projection and see where you are landing. So they are not talking from hearsay. They are not soothsayer.
By the projection, it means there is no future for Nigeria. Now, no,
I don't agree with that. There's future for Nigeria. If
it's a sad one, a bleak one.
I don't believe. I don't believe in such negative conclusion on anything. There's no conclusive. There's no conclusion. There's no negative. I don't believe in negative conclusion of anything. As far as you have known you are wrong, at that point when you know you are wrong, if you make a U-turn back to begin what to do better things, correct thing, you begin to see progress. At the point we know that this is where we have got it wrong, at that point when we realize that we have gone wrong, we can't continue this path in this way we are going. When we seriously sit down to take a look of what has been wrong with us and ready, objectively want to correct things and want to make a U-turn, we begin to make progress from then onward. Only it may take us time before that thing be achieved. But as far if you refuse to know that we have gone wrong and the place we are right now we need a corrective measure, then it's only that you can be saying there's no hope. And this government will not be there forever. 8 years maximum will be 8 years will go. Another government may come and begin now to do things in a different way that will begin to inspire hope and bring good development and progress. At that point we need to make progress. So that's why I will not say there's no hope. I don't say that. No. At any point, if you have not been reading, if you have not been a student in your school and you failed to carry over your course, if after receiving your carry over result you now look, I must be serious with my study, I now begin to study hard, you can even make A in that result. So who will now be saying that there is no hope for you again? No. But at the point whereby you know you are wrong, if you know that you are wrong and you take a decision that you are going back from the wrong direction you have been going and begin now to do something that is good, you begin to make progress. That's why I will not agree with that conclusion that there is no hope for Nigeria. There is hope for Nigeria. As when somebody who can begin to do things, even if this government too realize that they are wrong, it's the part they are playing and they convincingly turn back from the wrong direction they are going. I been down to do things different. You begin to see progress.
From the stance, they are not accepting their errors or mistake. They are trying to defend such argument.
That's why we now have to now wait for a new leadership, a new sheriff in town that will now begin to do things in a new way, such that there can be progress. There will be a new turnaround of things instead of there.